Hey, what's up, everybody? It's BDF44 coming at you with another video. Okay, gotta check a second to step away. It's been a pretty busy day. As you could probably see, my face is greasy because I've been walking around a little more than usual, which is good exercise for me. But unfortunately, I didn't have as much time to address things on here as I normally do, but that's okay. That's okay. Putting in effort at work. That's what it's about. But what I came here to speak to you guys about today is just not willing to buy into the rumors about Drummond coming to the Lakers. It's one of those situations where it's like it's all over the news. It's all over my news feed, rather, on Facebook and every social media site that I look into. Drummond's coming to the Lakers. He's going to make his decision tomorrow. The Lakers are leaning in on him. It's a lot of getting your hopes up type of stuff, and I've been down this road too many times in this league, thinking guys are going to go places, thinking guys are going to come to the Lakers particularly, and they just don't. They go to wherever else. I mean, we did this with Melo, we did this with LaMarcus Aldridge, we've done this with Kawhi, we've done this so many times, and it never goes our way when we hype it up like this while a guy is trying to make a decision. So even though the tea leaves are reading that he's coming here, the man has a decision to make, and he'll make that decision when he's certain he's ready. We've seen this movie before. Most of the time, it's not this intense during the season, but with this type of buyout candidate, obviously he's a swayer of things. He gets on your team and he changes things. So he has this decision to make. I know I made a couple mistakes in regards to some of the places that they said he was rumored to possibly be going to. Miami was not a part of that. Bam Adebayo was playing way too great to even play around with the chemistry there. They got Oladipo. I don't know how they would pay for that anyway. So I was just simply mistaken. That was inaccurate. And I think there was another team that I said that he possibly could be going to. That wasn't true either. So I just had that wrong. But at the end of the day, he does have his suitors, and the ones that I'm certain of are the Lakers, the Celtics, and the Knicks. Those are the three that I'm very certain of at this point. I heard the Celtics are pushing forward, and then of course you read stuff that said the Celtics think that they're out of it. They believe he's going to sign with the Lakers. So everything's pointing toward him going to the Lakers, but I would like to wait until we actually get news of his decision before getting up here and talking about, yeah, we got him and all of this nonsense that I know a lot of other people are doing right now. So I just came here to do that. If he does become a Laker, I'm very happy about that, super happy about that. And I think it puts us in a position to have some cushion while we wait for LeBron and AD to come back. So that's the most important thing. Rim protection, rebounding, and scoring, drawing attention away from others, open shots for others. That's what I'm hopeful he can do for us, drawing fouls, putting big men in foul trouble, even some smaller guys who try to swipe at him possibly. A little bit of that Shaq energy. I don't know his game like I'd like to, though. I've been listening to people talk about it, but I haven't really sat down and watched highlights of the guy in quite a while. So it's going to be some learning thing going on here if he does indeed come to the Lakers and I'm able to watch him play and see his highlights. I'm looking forward to finding out what it is that he can do and what he can't. And, to see how he fits in with our guys, of course, for the time being. So we wait for Braun, we wait for AD, and I believe there's some other buyout candidates that we can take a look at. A guy like Austin Rivers is sitting out there. Avery Bradley is going to be available more than likely. I say Austin Rivers with the assumption that he's going to want to buy out, but there's no guarantee that the Thunder will actually relinquish his rights, or they may see themselves as allowing him to fit in with their youngsters and maybe try to help them along the way. I don't know what the plan is there, but I'd imagine he's getting bought out. Just seems like that makes sense. Otto Porter is a buyout candidate, I believe, at this point. I think he's probably going to look to move on from that situation. It's just some other names that are out there that your favorite teams can take a look at. In the meantime, LaMarcus Aldridge has indeed signed with the Brooklyn Nets. That's official. I don't feel bad about that in terms of him not coming to the Lakers. I didn't. First of all, what applied to Andre Drummond, in my opinion, still applied to LaMarcus Aldridge. If you want an easy ring, I think the best place to go for this season is the Nets because they are the favorites to win it, and they continue to add players to give strengthen their bigs, and I think that's the most important thing is how is Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge gonna fare against the Anthony Davises and the Joel Embiids and the Giannis's? Like that's gonna be the story. Are they gonna be able to play some defense, or is it gonna be turnstiles with those two? So it's gonna be interesting to see because they're already a bad defensive team. LaMarcus Aldridge can block some shots. He can rebound the ball, and like I've said once before, he has these games, and you never know when they're gonna happen. But he can just go for 35 plus, and maybe he's all done. Possibly, I don't know. I don't think San Antonio minds seeing him leave at this point. Probably not for nothing, but I'm sure this is addition by subtraction in a lot of their eyes. But at the same time, it's like I think he still has the ability to wake up and score 25 for the Nets and put them over the top in a game where they may be struggling or a game where otherwise they would need those points. So, I'm wondering if he and Blake Griffin really do have anything left. Or is this another Marcus All situation? Because Blake Griffin hasn't really looked too good at all this season. And even though I know what he's capable of, it just doesn't seem like he has a whole lot left, honestly. And then LaMarcus Aldridge, we're going to see, we're going to see. Because the Nets, even though those are very talented vets, they already have injury issues. And the question is, if guys aren't going to be healthy, are those bench guys going to have success against others? Is that going to be enough to get them through the Milwaukees, get them through dealing with, say, a Boston or somebody like that, whoever they run into? Chicago, I think, is going to be there now. Is that going to be enough if they run into the injury issues? If a KD and Kyrie are both not out there, is that going to be enough of for James Harden to kind of carry through the playoffs? And I wonder about that. I do believe that the Nets are the way to go, but just like Stephen A's been saying, just like others have been saying, KD's health is a question mark. Now, my initial thought about KD is that he's just resting, and I said that previously in a video, but I honestly don't know. He's not going to take long to get right. KD's so great, he could probably step out there and score 50, and none of us are going to be surprised, but can he string together games back to back throughout the playoffs? Is he going to be available for every game? Those are things that make you wonder with the time that he's missing. You just really don't know. And if KD, let's just throw this out there and say KD doesn't come back at all, I don't think the Nets can beat the Philadelphia 76ers with just James Harden and Kyrie Irving. I don't. And it's one of those things where it's like they have a lot of vets as their bigs. The only real young big that they have is Claxton. Everybody else is older. DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, like these are talented guys. But are they going to help you if you're running into young bigs who are going to just be powerful and things of that nature? I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. The LaMarcus Aldridge signing, it's almost like, and I know this is going to sound strange, but it's almost like he brings a weakness with him because of what he's not going to do. He's like, it's like you have a bad defensive team and then you put a bad defensive player on that team. Like, I don't know LaMarcus Aldridge is a bad defensive player, but the knock on him lately has been that he doesn't want to play at all in the paint. He doesn't want to have any physical activity. It's kind of like he's just kind of not really up for much but shooting jumpers at this point. That's what I've been hearing. And I'm going off hearsay solely, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But if that is the case, and you're inserting him into the lineup where he has to play big minutes at the big man position, he could be a liability. And that's one of the reasons why I wasn't so excited about him coming to the Lakers, because I'm like, but if he comes in here and we're giving him big minutes, am I happy about that? Like, do I want him playing big minutes in the playoffs? And the answer is not really. I want LaMarcus Aldridge to sit down, unless he's hot. But if he's not hot, he's not doing a whole lot for me, in my opinion. And I just wonder if he is at this stage in his career a player that you want playing a lot of minutes on an in an important situation. My God, I can't speak today. So that's what it comes down to for me. I don't want to poo-poo on LaMarcus Aldridge's talent. Again, this is somebody who, when he's hot, can go off for 40. And he's done it in the playoffs, and can rebound a lot too when he gets it right. But I just haven't seen him get it right in a very long time. And I don't think he's conditioned for that type of play right now. So it's like, will he get there before the playoffs? If he go, now that he's signing with the Nets, will they need him to? That's another thing. Maybe not. So he's complimentary at this point. They have so many weapons. It's just not even worth talking about. But the thing is, they keep adding offense to their team, and that's not what they need. They need defense. To be completely honest with you, if they can hit the buyout market and go after a defensive player, that would probably help the Nets kind of offset some of their issues. Because really, that's what they need, is what they lost. Basically, rim protection. Jared Allen. You put Jared Allen back on this team, they ain't going to have no issues. The end. But because they don't have that rim protection, they're going to be relying upon somebody like KD to block shots down there. And Blake Griffin, and these guys ain't defending like that, man. So I don't know. The Nets are going to have some interesting things to figure out with a rookie coach. This is so strange, but I just don't like the LaMarcus Aldridge signing. I don't. And as I hear myself say it, it don't really make sense, because you're adding two big-time all-star players, in Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, in their hey. But I don't like what they're going to be asked to do, which is play defense. It's not like they're the problem. It's just that they don't have what they need. So they're going to be asking these guys to do things that they probably shouldn't be asked to do at this stage in their careers. So DeAndre Jordan is going to be important. And like I said, Claxton, very, very important. They're going to have to play well. They're going to have to stay healthy. With DeAndre, that's not an issue, because he's one of the more durable players ever. Claxton, I haven't seen him have any issues as well. So everything's looking good. And they found a kid. I don't know his name, so that's why I haven't brought him up. But they found a kid. I think they crawled him up from the G League, and he just, played like his life was on the line and put up big numbers. So maybe he can be something for them. Who knows? Maybe that's who he is, rather than just a great game. But we will find out if they play him. Who knows if he'll find the minutes? But it's the Brooklyn Nets, man. As we speak of the Brooklyn Nets, we have to understand that it's just going to come down to KD's health, no matter what. Because if KD's healthy, he's so lethal. You just got to get out the way. That's the second greatest player in the game as far as I'm concerned. So if he's right, everybody can say goodnight, basically. But LeBron James. It's the only person who ain't going to go quietly into the night in that situation. Although KD's had him the last two times, and that stands for something. It really do. Even though he had Steph and Clay to the left and the right of him. Either way, KD won and has bragging rights at this point. So we're going to have to take that from him. That's our job. So get healthy, AD. Get healthy, LeBron. If Drummond comes, cool. If Drummond don't come, we gonna fight with who we have, and we're going to go after it, man. But it's most important that everybody stay healthy. So that's what I got. BDF 44, thank you guys for watching. No.